Check. This is all first. This is a first video, first setup, new office. I'm gonna give this an intro. I've got some news, some exciting news to share. No, this is not my original office. I'm currently in Kansas City. My wife and I, this is moving, have bought a 33-acre farm and orchard in Platte County, Missouri, aka just like north of Kansas City, in the Kansas City suburbs. We bought it from a retiring farmer. The tenant of the location of our new farm has 3 months to be on that property. So in this meantime, I'm gonna make do with this space and continue creating content for you guys, and for, I just have fun doing it. So currently shooting on that new Sony FX3, not FX3 Mark II or anything. That's not a thing yet. I don't really have too much of a plan. I wanted to make the announcement of, hey, we've moved, things are looking different. Bear with me in this in-between time. And I still got some videos that I want to bring and show you guys. Starting with this one, which I think it's just gonna be a recap of some of the farm and orchard footage that I've been shooting and some of the new lenses. Let's grab some of that. So currently for this new Sony FX3 kit, I've been shooting on these vintage Konica Hexanon AR lenses that I've been slowly cine-modding with focus gears. These are like metal focus gears that are designed to work exactly for this kind of lens. I've got a tool. Man. So yeah, everything is new. This whole space is temporary, and yet I moved in as much as we can, and just to make things feel kind of like home. Use one of these super accurate millimeter and inch measuring units to measure the width. I actually have another lens that I still need to get this piece for. So currently on my set, shooting on the 24 Konica Hexanon AR. I think it's an f2.8, I believe. I got a 40 mil, a 50 mil, 85, and this 135. The modifications I'm making are currently, these are metal, nice like front caps with these step-up rings, 55 millimeter to 77 millimeter step-up rings from Lingo Photo. They're nice, they're metal, goes on this pretty nice. And then of course I'll be making the Cine mod for the focus gears. And then down the road, I will declick these. I can't be on set clicking through the aperture rings. You'd rather find the exact, aperture instead of just skipping, If you guys didn't know the difference between an f-stop and a t-stop, well, an f-stop is the approximate stop between your stops, where a t-stop is the exact. T-stops, there's no gears, there's no jumping, there's none of that sound. It's a smooth, exact portion of where the t-stop is, or the f-stop. I'm approximately at f2.8 versus a t-stop. The ones without the clicks, you're going to be spinning that aperture blades until you're exactly at what you want to be. That's the difference. Fun little fact. And most cinema lenses are all T-stops. Most photography lenses are f-stops. Why? Because they don't need that precision typically in photography as much as you do in motion. But yeah, back to this. So you would take a measurement like this, zero it out, whatever, find this distance. I'm getting a reading of 61.9 millimeter. Hop on cinemod.com. Actually, I don't know if that's cinemod.com. Simmodlens.com. Not a sponsor, just a fan. Big fan of their work right here. This stuff is super well manufactured. The grip is so tight. That's not going anywhere. And you're not having to screw in anything. So it's a very kind of like fluid way of going about doing this. And for the step-up rings, luckily all these Konica lenses are pretty much all 55 threaded lenses. Getting that step-up 55 to 77. That's not too difficult. These are also threaded. So now I have a 55 to 77 with the outer diameter being 80. You know how often I have a clamp-on matte box? That's 80. I'm using one right now. On the camera, I've got a clamp-on matte box. Actually, I have a different matte box. But yeah, you can easily use 80 millimeter clamp-ons. So down the road, when I'm putting this on my V-Raptor, I'll be easily put my bright tangerine clamp on there or an area map box or whatever. So that's nice to have these all the same fit. And then when the focus is on there, man, this is just butter. I'm absolutely loving the flares from this 50 mils, particularly this 50 mil. As for the back, this mount is a KR mount specific for Konica stuff. I have not chosen to swap this out yet. I've just been getting lens mount adapters for the camera. So I have an RF to KR, so that will work with any RF mounted camera bodies like Canon. And actually, as of not too long ago, the V-Raptor was a RF. And then of course Sony, so E mount. So I have an E to AR adapter. So I'm just going directly on there with these lenses, and they're so light that I'm not investing too much time or energy into getting these swapped out. If I was to swap them, I would probably do a full rehouse and put these into PL and get them whole, not just modded, get this whole thing cine rehoused. Speaking of cine rehouse, you got to check out what got me onto these lenses, Old Fast Glass. If you're not familiar with Old Fast Glass, let's get familiar. Oh, nice. Of course my tab perfectly opens to on Old Fast Glass, the Konica Hexanon primes. They've rehoused these by GL Optics. Or maybe Old Fast Glass hasn't rehoused these. GL Optics was the one who rehoused them, and Old Fast Glass is the one who's like showing them off. There's so many focal lengths. There's even more than what has been rehoused here. But down the road, I'm looking forward to getting the 21, a 28, a 35, a 57 mil. That just sounds fun. I just want to shoot on a 57. Before I got the 85, you got 100 and 135 and a 200 mil. If you scroll further down, there's a cool sample video that they used, shot with a mini LF and these lenses. That's the other thing. Why did I get these lenses? They cover full frame. They cover the Sony FX3 and they cover the V-Raptor sensor, which is huge. And so it's longer than these full frame lenses or full frame sensors. The fact that all these lenses so far have covered the V-Raptor has got me stoked. One of my subtle reasons why I've also bought these is I was looking at Minoltas, of course looking at Canon FDs, which I already have a few Canon FDs. I wanted some Zeiss Jennas or some other Carl Zeiss lenses, but not everyone has this lens. And so I figured the fact that they cover full frame means that these might become a hot item down the road, and I'm picking them up for so cheap. Now, some of the lenses are going for at least $1,000 or more, like the 21 mil, which I haven't gotten yet, or the 28 mil. There's more than just like one 21 mil. There's like 21 mil up to 2.8. So they've got different speeds. They're fun, buttery, smooth, no chromatic aberration. I've seen zero chromatic aberration. And on my farm, I'm shooting a bunch of trees into the sun, or it's prime time for the Leica R lens to have that sneaking in that purple hazy chromatic aberration that we all hate. Very impressed that this has not done that. What I'm doing these lenses for, shooting farm footage and YouTube content, I think this is a steal. It's not Sony glass. It's not Canon's typical glass. It's something different. I'm just trying to have fun with it. So much transition right now that I just needed to create a video. Wanted to make sure you guys were aware of my situation. Give a shout out to Konica for making these dope lenses. This 50 mil is a T1.4, and I have a couple of links showing some of that soft, crazy depth of field, soft bokeh you get from it, and with this beautiful crazy flare. I wish I had my flashlights nearby. Where are my flashlights? I would show you guys a really cool flare. Let me find a flashlight. I found one, but I don't think this is gonna be the right one for the job. It's a 3-tier. This is not fair. This is like a really broad flashlight. This is not fair. It's not a good example of what these lenses can do, because most of the time it does not bloom out like that. So bad example, bad flashlight, bad example. I've been shooting up to the sun with these, and I'm not getting that crazy washed out look that we just did. One more pocket. I got a cine bag over here. No flashlight, but I did find my green laser pointer, which I think would maybe ruin the lens if I actually hit it. So I'm just gonna get kind of close. I'm not gonna actually put this green laser in that sensor. But while I found it, it made me think of fun pro tip of the day. As a cinematographer who shoots often inside studios, and you're trying to communicate with your gaffer, hey, let's switch off that light over there, the one that's between all those lights that are right over there, and it's a cluster of all those lights, and no. It's super hard to figure out how to tell them exactly. Sometimes you can see the numbers. Most of these lights are numbered, but when you can't see the number, use a little laser pointer, point out exactly which light you're talking about, and say, I'd like to kill that one. Most of the time, those guys, they'll know exactly which light I'm talking about now because I pointed it out and they'll know the number system. They're the ones who set it up. So that's just a fun tip of the day. Invest in one of these green laser pointers, and you know, it comes in handy more just talk about lights. Let's say you're doing tabletop stuff and you're asking someone where they need to stand. You're like, no, stand over there. Just stand. It's like, boom, pull this out of your pocket, shine right down on the ground, whatever. I need you to go right here. Batteries are cool, but dude, just get one that you can just plug in USB, charge it up. It's good to go. I don't know the last time I charged this. It keeps working. So I think kudos to the battery life. If it dies, most of our V mounts or Go mounts, they've got USBs on it now, so you can just plug in, juice up during lunch, good to go again. Well, it's kind of all over the place for this video, but I needed to accomplish a few things. I've moved from St. Louis City to Kansas City. Still have my house in St. Louis, and I'm keeping it for as long as possible while I continue to do work in both towns. Can't move into my new house on the farm, but we've been out there every single day doing good work, getting it ready for the fall season. I'll try to find times to make more videos. I've got one that I really want to share. I'm just gonna tease it. It's a throwback video to school days when you're breaking down imagery and you're trying to figure out where light's coming from, or you're recreating stuff and you're writing down your notes and whatnot. Oh, I think this is the exact one. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Looking through old images, trying to break down where the light's coming from, and I got a good example of this practice and how it helped me in the real world when filming a national rental car commercial. That'll be for the next video. Thanks guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want, I'll have a link to Apple of My Farm and Orchard. We're going to be starting a new channel for that as we continue to grow our farm. Check that out as well. I'll be shooting, of course, all that content as well. This page, though, is just for me to be continuing to create content as a cinematographer and sharing the knowledge and experiences that I've had with you guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.